Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Ash Echoes. In today's video, I wanted to talk about Electroconduct team. I've been making, a lot of videos on different team comps. You got Wind team, Fire team. I think I did make a video on I haven't made a video on Summoner team. I only made two videos on two team comps so far. Fire team and Wind team. And for this video, we're pretty much going to talk about Electroconduct team. Oh yeah, I also made a video talking about Explosion Team with Lydia. So for this team comp, it's pretty much going to include Foray and Ferne. I think that's how you say their name. But these two little characters right here, very, very important for Electroconduct team because they're pretty much going to activate that water zone 24/7. Like they're going to do it 100% of the time. And they're the ones who are pretty much going to trigger that elemental reaction between lightning and water. So this skill right here, make a splash, this right here is what makes this character very useful in electric team comp. So you always want to activate this skill. And the fact that this skill has infinite use, like it has infinite use, is very, very good. Like infinite use is actually pretty solid. So make a splash is very, very important in her kit. And I will say, is this unit a damage dealer? I don't really view this character as a damage dealer. I view her as like a specialist unit. Like she's pretty much there to activate that water zone that your team can, benefit from the elemental reaction of electricity and water. And of course, the other character we have here is Lydia. It's pretty much going to be like our main DPS unit for electric team. And then we also have Yuki. Now for Yuki, he's actually pretty good in this team because number one, he's a tank unit and he's pretty much going to, trigger the elemental reaction between lightning and water as well, because his ultimate, he's able to create like a lightning field, which is very good. He can pretty much deal like electroconduct damage over time, which is really solid. So Yuki, he's going to be like the main tank unit of the team. So that's what he's there for. He's there to pretty much, be a tank, deal some passive damage and, distract the enemy. And our last character is Freda. Of course, Freda is going to be there to support the team, buff the team, just make everybody stronger. That's pretty much her job, and she excels at that. So that's pretty much a team comp. It just includes those four characters. Now, when we talk about memory traces, so if I come over here to team setups, did I actually save the team? I don't think I did. I need to start saving my teams, man. This is bad annoying. But let's go ahead and reorganize the team real quick. So team setup, we're just gonna put electric team. I'm just gonna put electric right here. So we're gonna go ahead and put Beret and Fernie. So they're my team leader, and the reason why is because this character, when you take a look at her leader skill, so if I come over here to details, so the reason why I have her as my team leader is because she's going to expand the water zone, which is really good. Like she's going to expand the radius of her water zone skill, which is going to, it's pretty much going to cover not the entire battlefield, but it's gonna have a good range and it's gonna cover, a lot of enemies, and they're pretty much going to stand on this water zone. Like you activating this expanding dominion, you activating this pretty much increases the chances of you you know dealing damage against enemies who are standing on Foray's, wherever her name is, staying on her water zone. So the fact that the range of this skill, passive skill, increases when you have her as leader, pretty solid. And we also have Steed Charge. This is also pretty good as well. It's good for range and skirmisher characters. So that's the reason why I have her as my team leader. I just want the range of her active skill to pretty much be a lot bigger so that more enemies can be affected by Electroconduct. So she's my team leader. And of course, we're going to put Freda right here. We're going to also put our Lydia, Yuki right here. And then I'm pretty sure for backup characters, I can just put in Scarlet. We're just going to put in Wind Team as our backup. So this is pretty much, my electric team. We're going to save that. Now, when it comes to bosses, though, so is electric team really good against bosses? I will say against bosses, Electric Team is really not that strong because one thing I noticed about Electric Team is that they are like the team is mostly useful for like stunning enemies. So let me come over here to joint training real quick. So I just realized that, Electric is mostly useful for like stunning enemies. Meanwhile, when it comes to win team comp, you have Azusa who's shredding the enemies win resistance. You have Zodavin who's also increasing elemental damage. It's like win team is way more offensive when it comes to bosses because of Scarlet. Meanwhile, for like Electroconduct, it's more like you're doing crowd control effects where you're pretty much stunning enemies, you're dealing passive damage. That's literally like Electric Team in a nutshell. Let me swap your position with Lydia. I don't know why. Put you right here, Leroy, you're right here, and then we're gonna put in Azusa. So I'm just gonna show you guys, a quick example as of to why I feel like Electro Conduct is not really strong against bosses. Maybe in the future we're gonna have a character who's gonna deal, insane damage with like, Electro Conduct elemental reaction. Who knows? But as of to right now, I don't think, Electro Conduct is that strong against bosses. I don't think it's that strong. We're just gonna put Yuki right here. Now the thing is, these characters, I don't have them maxed out, so maybe that's the reason why they're not doing that much damage. But you guys are gonna see, right? Let me go ahead and activate this elemental zone. So you guys can see that elemental zone. Look at the radius of that. It's insane. Like the radius of her elemental zone is really huge. So you guys can see we triggered Electroconduct, and we also have the Inspire stacks. I'm using the Water Inspire stack where, like if you have water characters on your team, you're pretty much going to, build up Inspire stacks. Let me heal some more. But look at this, like you guys can see, like the damage is really, it's not that impressive. It really isn't. It's more like passive damage. And the team just dies. So yeah, I feel like when it comes to Electric, it's more like it's gonna be good against like a group of enemies. Like let's say there's like a bunch of enemies on the battlefield and you need to eliminate them immediately. I feel like Electroconic is gonna be really good for situations like that because you're stunning, those enemies and they can't really do much because of the Electroconic reaction. So I feel like Electroconic is mostly used for, it's mostly useful for stunning enemies, and that's pretty much it. So we're just gonna put win team back in again, and I know this video's about Electroconduct team, but I just want to show you guys the difference between a win team and Electroconduct and how offensive win team really is when it comes to bosses. Let me go ahead and just put in my Scarlet. There you go, in Scarlet, and we are gonna put in our Laurel. So, and then pretty sure, oh, we have to switch Zodavin. There we go, max Inspire stacks. So we're gonna enter this fight, and you guys are gonna see like right off the bat, bro, we're gonna deal insane damage with this team. And I will say, out of every team I've used so far, win team is definitely like the most strongest in my opinion. Like it's insanely powerful, and I feel like for Pride Win, they should definitely put Azusa in A tier. I feel like they should move her up from B tier to A tier because her potential and value in win team is absolutely amazing. It's like if you don't even have Azusa and win team, you're pretty much underperforming. Like you're holding your win team back. I don't even know why I have this on auto. Let me take this off on auto. And look at that. Look how much damage we dealt just by using Azusa's skill. Like that's actually insane. So I don't want to use my skills because we have that reflection damage we have to watch out for. There we go. Okay, Scarlet, I don't want to. Actually, should we do it? We might as well. Let's pop it. Look at this. Absolutely insane. Just crazy damage. All right, let me go ahead and activate this AoE heal. There we go. And then Ooh, what are we gonna do here now? This one is actually tough. Let me eliminate these enemies right here. Okay. And then well, we gotta get rid of those things right there. This is not good. Copper ult. Okay, let's go ahead and switch your position. And let's attack this area. Nice. And then we can do that other combo again. Man, Scarlet is just so damn broken, man. This character is on a whole nother level. It's just crazy. We're not gonna activate that. We're gonna keep you in your defensive role. And Zuza can go ahead and eliminate these guys right here. I don't want to attack the boss because he has that reflection damage. And it might kill my Zuza. So I gotta be careful here. Oh shit. Wow, okay. We kind of fucked up right there. Let's put the seed drones down. And I don't even care if I don't beat this. I just wanted to show you guys, you know, win team's power compared to, you know, other team comps. But let me... You know, Azusa might beat this boss. Might. I don't know. We don't got it. Cooked. We're actually cooked. We're actually cooked. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I can beat that. I mean, I already beat this boss before, but just wanted to really show you guys, you know, when team, like, their potential against bosses and how nuclear, like how insane their damage is and how offensive the entire, like the entire team comp is when it comes to bosses. And when I take a look at Electroconduct, it's more like, okay, when you're fighting bosses, you know, why would you want to rely on an elemental reaction that doesn't deal as much damage as, you know, Wind? Because Wind doesn't really have a Wind, like it doesn't have an elemental reaction, but thanks to Azusa's Wind resistant shred, it's like Wind element doesn't even need an elemental reaction, to be honest, because if Wind element had an elemental reaction plus the Wind resistant shred, holy shit, Wind element would be on a whole nother level. But yeah, I feel like for Electroconduct, I feel like for that team, I would just recommend you guys to use that team when it comes to clearing enemy mobs. Like when you're in a stage and let's say you have an objective and you have to stun enemies, I'll say Electroconduct is going to be very useful for that. But other than that, when it comes to bosses, not really. I wouldn't recommend you guys to use Electroconduct. I would recommend you guys to use Wind Team comp instead, because Wind Team is just far more powerful. So these are the memory traces I'm using. So you guys can see Essence of Water. This pretty much gives me Inspire stacks and tactical upgrades. So I pretty much have 20 Inspire stacks. Of course, Expanding Dominion. Also has some Strong Relief, Painful Counter, you know, for more survivability. And I hope that, you know, later on in the future, I'll be able to get some more memory traces that can, you know, help my electric characters become a lot stronger. Because I will say, most of these skills don't really benefit electric characters that much. So, you know, I will say Electroconduct, if you're not using a memory trace that's going to increase lightning damage, electric damage, Lydia is not going to deal as much damage. And, you know, it takes time to build up Inspire stacks. So, you know, your team might die before you even reach 200%. So, you know, there's like a lot of flaws with Electroconduct team, but it has potential. It has potential to be useful in certain situations, but compared to other team comps that I played with so far, I will say Electroconduct is definitely like probably the weakest one so far. Like Fire Team, very, very good when it comes to dealing with ground enemies. Like Fire Team is very powerful because it's very tanky. You have Mo, you have Kairos. Kairos is a very tanky unit, but he deals pretty solid damage. Plus, we're gonna have Biley, who's coming soon, is gonna take Fire Element to the next level. So, you know, Fire Team really strong. Wind Team broken as fuck. Explosion Team is also very powerful. Lydia, her damage in Explosion Team is next level. But when I look at Electroconduct, it's like, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of mid. But It's a fun team though. It's a fun team. If you guys want to try different team comps out, I definitely recommend you guys to try this one out if you have the opportunity to do so. Definitely don't waste your stamina, because stamina is really scarce in this game. Don't waste your stamina just to build electric team comp. There are other teams that are way better than Electroconduct, but if you want to experiment, different options, if you want to see different teams, then Electroconduct, it's not a bad team. It's pretty solid, but overall, uh, it's not game breaking. Like, it's not insane compared to Wind Team, Fire Team, Summoner Team comp. It's just not that crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to make video talking about that, really just showing you guys uh Electroconduct. And actually, before I end it, let me do one more fight, because I did show you guys Electroconduct against a boss. So we're just gonna go over here to let me come here to field ops guide. I'm pretty sure path, actually no, Skyrift observation. Let's go ahead and do a quick fight. So we're gonna use water team, not water team, but Electroconduct team. And you guys are going to see how useful Electroconduct team is when it comes to, fighting against enemy mobs. Let's go ahead and reorganize this entire formation. Oh, let me just put Wind Team just in case this team flops. Uza and Charlotte. All right, here we go. So, Electroconduct team. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna put Freda in the back right here. Put Yuki up here, and then Lydia, you can be right here. So I'm just gonna put this in auto mode, and you guys are gonna see how effective this team is when it comes to enemy mobs. Like, you guys can already see how well the team is performing. Look at all these stuns. You guys can see the stuns already. Enemies are literally perma-stunned. They can't even do anything. So that's what the team is really useful for, stunning enemies. When it comes to damage, you guys can see that the damage isn't really that crazy. We're pretty much dealing passive damage. Now, of course, my characters are underleveled, so that's probably the reason why. But even if my characters are underleveled, I still feel like with any other team, for example, Fire Team or Wind Team, they can still deal pretty crazy damage when they're underleveled. So I don't think that's the reason why they're not dealing a lot of damage. It's just that Electroconduct is not a powerful elemental reaction compared to Explosion. What's another elemental reaction? I'll say Explosion is pretty strong. Freeze is also pretty good as well, because I'm pretty sure you can insta-kill with Freeze elemental reaction, which is insane. So got that ultimate. If that was Explosion, Lydia would have one tap with that was Explosion reaction. But yeah, that's one thing I really like about Electroconduct is, oh shit, our Yuki died. That's fine though. That's one thing I really like about Electroconduct is the stuns. Like, the stunning is very, very satisfying, and the enemies really can't do much if you're just constantly stunning. Fuck, dude, we should have put in Laurel in here. Not gonna lie. Maybe we should run like double. Actually, let's put in Azusa. Let's put in Azusa. Actually, let's put in Zodovan. Let's run double healer. Yeah, let's run double healer, because we can stun enemies. So let's see what happens. Let's use her skill. And I will say another weakness of this element is it's really hard for like, it's really hard for the units in Explosion Team to get rid of shields. That's one thing I noticed. But let's go ahead and activate her ultimate. I really like her ultimate animation though. Her ultimate animation is actually pretty cool. But this is pretty much her ult. She can deal some pretty good damage with her ultimate. You guys can see she pretty much creates a huge water zone field, which is very nice. So let's go ahead and use Lydia skill. Go. Got that Electroconduct reaction, and everybody's pretty much perma-stun right there. Let's pop Zodovan ult. These guys are very dangerous, man, because they pretty much, you know, explode and they deal insane damage when they explode. Let me get rid of them. I don't want anything to do with these guys. You know, it wasn't crazy damage, but it is what it is. All right. Go ahead and activate this now. Hopefully this can get rid of that barrier. Lydia is really good when it comes to removing barriers, but other than that, you know, this character right here, not really good. I will say Freda. I mean, Freda doesn't really do much. She's just healing your team and buffing. That's pretty much her job. And Yuki is also not that good when it comes to removing shields. So, yeah, Electroconduct definitely suffers when it comes to that. But let me move you because you're going to take some damage. Pop this again. Let's pop this ultimate. How much damage? Pretty good. Nice. I think that was 800k damage. So we beat it. So yeah, man, I mean, I was able to show you guys that, you know, Electroconduct is very useful when it comes to dealing with enemy trash mobs who are constantly charging at you. You can pretty much stall and deal passive damage while they're perma-stun, which is very good. So that's one of the big things about Electroconduct is the perma-stun. Being able to stun enemies and they can't do anything. But when it comes to, you know, insane damage, dealing crazy damage immediately, Electroconduct isn't really strong when it comes to that. So, you know, there's a lot of flaws when it comes to Electroconduct, but it's still useful in certain situations. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.